Good morning to everyone. My name is K. Gershon Paul. I am studying BTech in VVIT College as an EC student. My registration number is 19BQ180467. Today I like to discuss about a topic called access modification and access specifiers. We all know that a topic called inheritance. Inheritance, which means sharing of property to parent class from child class. Let us take A is called parent class, share its properties to B. Here A is called parent class and B is called child class. Inheritance means A share its properties to B is called inheritance. In Python, we have three different types of access modification. Axing means nothing but sharing of A properties to B. Let us see what are the three types of access modifications or access specifiers. First thing is public access specifiers. Second thing is protected access specifiers, and third thing is private access specifiers. These are the three types of access specifiers we use in Python. Let us discuss about public access specifiers. Now we discuss about public access specifiers. The definition of public access specifiers is the members and the data members and the members of the class can be accessible by from any part of the program is called public access specifiers. Or we can say that all the members and the data members and the members of the class are defaultly comes under a public scope. Here is the code for a class's employee. Let us take a class employee constructor. Here is the self we call default. Here we take two arguments, name, sal. Here self dot name equal to name. We call the function, call these arguments to be called self dot name and then self dot sal equal to sal. Here it is the data members. Now we are initializing to an object called emp equal to employee. Now we pass it to our call Paul or 500 and we call emp dot sal. We output 500. This is a code for access, public access. It means it can be accessible from any part of the. We can call from here is the parent one, here is the child one. We can call the properties from parent to child without initializing by using a program called inheritance. Here emp.sal is can be accessible from public scope. Let us take here in public access specifier means parent can be accessible to its subgroups or derived class. Derived classes, and this with the class which come under public access can be accessible from these methods or functions can be accessible by derived class or through subclasses. This is a special thing by a public access variable. We can access any variable or function or method from parent class to derived class, from derived class to subclasses. Here we capture the variables as a global variable. Now we discuss about private access specifiers or public protected access specifiers. Now we discuss about a protected access specifier and a private access specifier. In protected means we can access data from parent class to from derived class. We cannot access a function or a variables from to a subclasses. Let us see here is a parent class. A is the parent class having some of functions or variables can be accessible by only an derived class, but not to an subclasses. Is called protected class, which comes under protected class. We initialize the members, data members, through single underscore comes under an protected score, which means this one. This comes under an protected access specifier. Now we discuss about a private access specifier. Private access specifier means which can be accessed by only by an, which cannot be accessible by a derived class but also an subclasses, is called an private scope sector. Here we initialize a double underscore for initializing a private scope. Here is a private scope member. Here how we initialize or access some of the methods or a function from parent class to derived class or subclasses through using an access modifiers. We have three different. We said, likely said, protected, public, and private. These are the three different types of access specifier we use in Python program. Thank you. Let us now discuss about a topic called minimization using Karnaugh map method or K-map method. We use this method to simplification of Boolean functions in digital circuits and logic design. In 1953, Maverick Karnaugh developed this K-map method, which was he was entitled with the map method for simplification or synthesis of combinational logic circuits. In this K-map method provides us a simple, straightforward logic to simplify the Boolean functions that may be regarded in the form of pictorial form of truth tables. In this K-map method, which contains squares, each square contains one mean terms. K-maps are a conventional method to form or to represent switching functions up to 6 variables. The K-map method is also basically used for finding an SOP, means sum of products, and POP, product of some representations. In K-map, we have for an n variable K-map we have 2 power n cells. That means each cells are corresponding to a row of n variable truth table. K-maps are labeled according to an truth table rows, and K-maps can be arranged in the form by the adjacent cells corresponding to the truth rows that can be differ only by 1 bit position. Let us now discuss about a 2 variable K-map. Now we discuss about a 2 variable K-map. It means we use 2 variables, 2 inputs. That is, let us now draw a truth table with 2 inputs. A is one input, B is the another input, and EF is the function. Let us take 0, 0 is the first. Second thing is 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1. We get, by taking two inputs, we get 4 outputs. That is 0, 0. That is M0, M1, M2, M3. Here is the M0, M1, M2, M3 is the functions. That is, here M0 is the function of A dash B dash, A complement B complement, and M1 equal to A B complement, and M2 equal to A complement B, and M3 equal to A B. Here like this we represent a 2 variable K-map. Let us draw a tabular form for this. For two variable K map, we draw a tabular form of mapping method like this. Here A is the input and B is the another input. A complement A, that is A complement means is 0, A complement means is 0 and A means 1. B complement and B. A complement B complement is A complement B complement, that is 0 0, that is M0. A complement B that is 0 1, that is M1. A and B complement, that is M2, that is 1 0, and A B, that is 1 1, M4. Like this we represented a mapping of K-map method for a two variable K-map. The important thing is we should identify the rows and column. Here A is the row and B is the column. Now let us discuss a three variable K-map. If you look at three variable K-map. In three variable K-map, we use three inputs. Let us take A, B, C as an input. A, B, C, and then our function. Now let us take an outputs 0 0 0 0 0 1 0 1 0 0 1 1 A, B, C, F, and here 1 0 0 1 0 1 1 1 0 1 1 1. If you observe, if we get in 8 outputs, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 for 8 outputs for a three variable K-map. That is, here you see A complement, B complement, C complement, and second output, that is M0, M1 equal to A complement, B complement, C. For M2, A complement, B complement, C. For M3, we get A complement, B, C. For M4, A, B complement, C complement. Is M5, we get output A, B complement, C. For this M6, for A, B, C complement, and last M7, we get A, B, C. Like this we get an outputs, 8 outputs, that is M1, M0, M1, M2, M3, M4, M5, M6 and M7. Now we draw a tabular form for mapping. Let us look first thing in K variable mapping we use following mapping. Let us take a pairing of mapping, that is 4 8 4 like 8 4 2 like that. Let us just draw a table. Here A is one input and B and C is another input, like this. A complement and B complement, C complement, B complement, C, or B, C complement, B, C, or B complement and C. Like this we get an output. Right, like this. That is A complement is 0, that is here is A. A complement and heavy is A1. Now first block, first square or first cell, M0, M1, M2, M3, M4, M5, M6 and M7, like these outputs. Now A first cell is A complement, B complement, A complement, B complement, C complement. Second thing is A complement, B, C complement, and this one is A complement, B, C, and this one is A complement, B complement, C, and this one is A, B complement, C complement, and this one is A, B and C complement, and this one is A, B, C, and this one is A, B complement, C. Like this we form a truth table. Now let us go for mapping. I said before that we go for four mapping, like this. We map this and this. That is function of M0, M1, now M1, M2, M4, M6. Now we get a logic function for this. Now we simplify this function. Let us now discuss about a topic called construction and principle of N-channel JFET in electronic devices and circuits, which is called EDC. The full form of JFET is junction field effect transistor. Let us now look about a construction of junction field effect transistor. Let us now discuss about the construction and principle of JFET, that is junction field effect transistor. Let us take an N-type bar which is low doping, and N-type bar is diffused with two p regions which are highly doped. These two p regions are shorted each other, and this connect terminal called gate. We have another two terminals which is called source and another is drain, or we can change each other. Let us look at the principle of JFET. Now we connect N to connect the drain and source to the external terminal. Let us connect this source to an negative terminal and this to an positive terminal of voltage V. This is called voltage drain source. The principle of JFET is here N region. We all know that N-type was having a magnetic carriers are electrons. These electrons are, here we contain a negative terminal, here we contain a positive terminal. In this region of electrons are repelled by an external source negative charge, repel these electrons towards a drain, so that electrons move from source to drain, and we get a current flow from drain to source, that is called voltage drain source. If we look at that, here the P and N, PN junctions are reverse bias. Due to this reverse bias, the effect of reverse bias, the depletion layer is formed. If we observe that the size of the depletion layer is more towards the drain and depletion region towards the source is small, this is caused due to an applying a reverse bias. This is the principle and construction of an JFET. Thank you.